Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris Gravel with SimHQ doing a review for the Wheel Stand Pro for the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. This is a very solid stand. There's a few little issues with it that I'll discuss throughout the review. But first, a few things so you can get right to what you're probably most interested in, which is the amount of room that it takes up. It's actually fairly small whenever it's folded down, and you should be able to fit it into just about any area in your office or game room or wherever you play. It can fit under a desk pretty easily. It can fit in a closet under a bed. The issue is the plate that is on top, the one that you see vertically right now. Once you adjust it, you're not going to want to loosen the nut to flatten it out if you play frequently. If you don't play as much, it's not a huge deal. Once you do have it flattened out, though, it takes up even less space. Again, the issue is that it's once you find the sweet spot, it's not as easily adjustable as other parts of the setup. So for me, if I was going to use it extremely frequently, I would probably leave it as it is. My stepdad is a licensed commercial airline pilot, and so he's the one that does the flight simulators most often. And it's currently being used by him more frequently than me. I actually left it with him to use. Whenever you have it standing up, you can see that it's a little bit shorter than the desk, and it gives you, if you sit at a desk, you have to kind of lean forward to get to the controls, and with this, you can actually adjust that black and silver arm to fit exactly like you like. The wheels, or the floor plate, is used for your rudders or for your foot pedals, and it gives you the ability to set it as you like. Another or really one of the biggest issues with this, with putting it together, had to do with these bars right here. You can see that they're a little bit bent because they're so tight, and these screws give you absolutely no extra room to put them on. I mean, they are dead on. There's only a few threads to screw them into. It can easily be fixed with an additional, or with 4 extra screws that are longer, but those aren't included with this. These are the ones that came with it, and these were the longest screws included. Once you get the foot plate like you like, it won't be an issue, but if you do want to adjust it, it took both of us to actually get this screwed in. It doesn't come with a screwdriver, so you need your own. The biggest problem is it's just so difficult to get that part installed because the fit is so tight. And once you get on there, you can't really adjust that part without taking it all apart and putting it back. So you definitely want longer screws for it. The wrench that's included is not large enough for that. It's instead used for the top plate, where you can adjust very easily. But you'll actually need a different way to hold those nuts for the foot plate, which again is just an oversight. If you have the tools for it, it's not a big deal. You can once you have it set up, it's extremely easy to adjust the arm and the faceplate with what's included, and it is about as sturdy as you could imagine. I would think I could probably stand on top of it, but this is where you can see you can adjust the height. The faceplate, or the top plate itself, is adjustable and rotatable, and it doesn't take. That's as long as you can get it out, and right there, that's all that it takes to actually tighten this up. You loosen it, and then you push the lever back down, and it tightens it back, and it's not going to move at all. It's extremely sturdy and extremely easy to adjust these particular parts of the entire stand. Again, the issue comes with the foot plate and how much you actually want to adjust this. I don't have it tightened all the way. That's why it's moving some, the top plate. But for the most part, I mean, those are hard, solid metal plates that are going to hold anything you put on it, even if you're not using the Warthog. It'll work with anything. We'll actually show you in a few minutes what else we used on it. We had some lower end controls for flight stuff, and they work on there just fine. Now, these are the included tools that are left over outside of the screws that we've already used. This is everything that comes with it. It gives you plenty of options for installing different flight sticks or control setups that would need to be screwed into the plate for stability. And there are a total of 8 holes. The foot plate has the 4, which we talked about earlier. But once you have that set, you shouldn't have to do anything with it again. Now, the other thing that really makes this nice is you can see these are hardwood floors, and they haven't been scratched at all because this has very, very nice rubber foot covers on each end, and it keeps it without moving on any surface, and they completely encompass it so that you're not going to have the issue of one of them being just a little bit off and giving you kind of a, making it a little bit off so that it shakes whenever you move, almost like a table that has a slightly shorter leg. This will actually make it so that you don't have that issue at all. You can see that it's pretty easy to adjust to how you want to sit, and anything will fit on there. From the research I did not see any particular control setups that wouldn't fit on here one way or another. Those rudder pedals are larger than the foot plate, but they stick on there just fine. There's not a problem at all with them. You can see this is actually quite a bit lower than the desktop. So if you think about whenever you're actually using your controller on the desktop and you probably have to lean forward a little bit and your arms are elevated a good bit, this actually puts it to where, as my stepdad told me, it feels like whenever he's actually flying a plane. And you can actually lower it quite a bit to get it exactly like you like. And you can angle it a good bit to make sure that, if you have longer or shorter legs, you can get it exactly where you want. Now, this is the other setup that we have. It's a little bit on the lower end from what a lot of people will likely use with this, but you can see there's a little bit of gap there, and I didn't touch this setup at all because it's not tight. The plate is way too thin for this to sit on tightly. So what we do is we use a book, and we're actually going to get a piece of wood to put on there. And you just put a piece of wood across it, and it tightens it up just fine. And with those holes in the metal, you can make the adjustments that you need if you don't want to upgrade to, a higher end control scheme that would fit more appropriately on this. And this thing, he and I both used it a good bit, and with the with just a book, it didn't move an inch. It was on there as solid as could be, and I was shaking it pretty hard, and trying to fly planes all over the place as crazy as possible, and the thing didn't move at all. It was exactly where we installed it, and it was very, very easy to set up. Overall, I would say for the money, this is probably the best investment you can make for a really avid flight sim fan. The thing is as solid as a rock. It's not going to move. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just absolutely fantastic.